Jumripso Suksamaite Kyomchmo Anot. Hello everyone. I'm gonna give you my deck profile of my Darkrai VSTAR Turbo deck that I just top locals today, April 22nd, 2023 at Gaming Universe. And for proof, I got it here. I'm gonna like frame it. It's my first ever top in any tournament, in any game. So I'm very hyped. First I'm just gonna sort the card list, and then I'm going to like talk about my matchups. So running 4 Darkrai VSTAR. A lot of lists run 3. I think a lot of people 3 line. But in my book, like my experience like playing the deck, I found it like I wanted to open Darkrai more instead of just searching it. I wanted to like just open it in my hand, and I just needed to see it. I wanted to see Darkrai because with the cards like I ran, like milling with PokéStop and Trekking Shoes, and just like in general, I just wanted to see my cards instead of like having to search them with like Ultra Ball. I just wanted to see them more by like hard drawing it. And if like I've never had like 2 or more of these get prized, but like evidently like if even one got prized, I still had 3 in deck, and I wouldn't have to worry about just playing with 2. But yeah, so you're running a 4-4 line, and then you're running a double Galarian Moltres V. It has the ability of Dire Flame Wings. Once per turn, you can attach a dark energy from your discard pile to this Pokemon. So it's basically how most of the time you're charging up your attack for Darkrai VSTAR. Dark Pulse does it 30 for each dark energy attached to your Pokemon. And also, like, it has a very high utility VSTAR power, getting to any 2 item cards. But before Scarlet and Violet, I had a lot more usage because you could get your choice belt and everything. But I have actually decided to cut choice belt entirely for consistency, and the fact that like since EX Pokemon are coming into the game, sometimes like choice belt doesn't do anything. And I guess you could say there are niche, like most like majority people are still playing Pokemon Vs, but I just decided not to because I'd rather just accelerate energy. One Galarian Moltres, I went between 1 and 2, but opening this card is just bad. You know, you never want to see it in starting, and it's a good accelerating Pokemon, and it's a good one-time prizer. Sometimes it comes a little late, but like if you need to put down energy, then it's like also good. And I think being able to use that in so many different ways as utility is it's great as a card. And attack is like it's okay. You get it. It's not okay. It's great, but it requires you to like lose the game, essentially, like be losing to like make a comeback, and usually you don't want that happening most of the time. And in Lost Box matchup, it just gets like sniped. Next, we're running 1 Radiant Greninja, enough set, stable, on a deck for the energy jack, and I'm deciding to play the double Varoom Revavroom package, the 2/2 I think this is great because it bypasses Path of the Peak. It's a single prize Pokemon, and drawing 6 is up to 6 cards in your hand. It's basically like a Genesect V. It's great having these draw cards. It discards your energy, so in that regard, like it replaces like Quick Ball, and you know it just helps with consistency. Obviously, the only issue is it being a stage 1. However, Crobat V, like, at first, like, it was hard adjusting without it, but honestly, this is better because it's a single pricer with Lost Box running around and people using, like, Sky Seal Stone. Like, just getting your Crobat just, like, boss's order, it's, like, Fire Seal Stone, boss order, attack, game, like, it feels bad. So, and that's why I don't play the minion. And that's all for, like, Pokemon. Right now, for item cards, we're playing 2 Switch. It's debatable on playing 2 Switch. For me, like, when I was playing Escape Rope, I was playing 1 Switch, 1 Escape Rope before. And the Escape Rope, like, never really did anything for me. Like, it just made, like, the board awkward. And, like, you know, I get to say Escape Rope, like, oh, you switch your opponent's Pokemon, but, like, I've never had the need for that. So I just play Double Switch, and it's good. I can't complain about it. But, like, theoretically, like, having an Escape Rope should be better. Like, if you have, like, Klefki, or any other basic Pokemon that your opponent's playing nowadays. I can't think of a situation where I really needed the Escape Rope other than that situation. Next, playing 4 Trekking Shoes. This card, like, I had a love-hate relationship. Because if you don't hit anything or you mill something, yeah, like, if you don't hit anything, like, it's bad. But then again, these are, like, upstart goblins in Yu-Gi-Oh terms, in my book. You dig through your deck for a card you want, so these are technically, like, 4 of any card in your deck. And then it also, like, drops Dark Energy into your discard pile. Sorry, that was a mouthful. But, like, if you're playing 3, just cut it out entirely. Like, if you're not playing 4 Trekking Shoes, there's no point. I'm thinking to, like, since Lost Box is the worst matchup for this deck, I've been thinking about cutting this line. I mean, not line, this item card, for, like, another Judge, 2 Picnic Basket, and then another random card. It could be anything. Maybe 1 Picnic Basket, it could be double something, whatever else. I think the utility of Picnic Basket is good because they tend to, like, you know, Sableye scatters energy, so does Greninja, and then Raikou just comes in, Sky Seal Stone, or Dragonite V. They whittle down your Pokemon. So I think, like, making them work for a bit harder for it, you know, making them do a little bit more math is good. They were running 4 Battle VIP Pass. I think that it's, I guess, I really don't see people play Battle VIP Pass in their deck list for some reason. I don't know why you would run Nest Ball instead of Battle VIP Pass. I just think Battle VIP Pass is just better as a card. Because this deck is basically rogue, let's be honest, right? It's not tier 1, tier 2. I guess you could argue to take tier 2. So that means, like, inherently, like, you have to play power cards that, like, can make you keep up with, like, Mew, Lugia. You know, Lugia sets up, like, in turn 2, and it's hitting for, like, 300, 280. Like, all these cards, like, all these, like, the top decks are setting up way before you. So you have to play cards that, like, put you on that level, even if it's a high risk, high reward card. Because that's just how fast Pokemon is now. And basically, Nest Ball is like a 1-for-1, right? Like, Battle VIP Pass is 2-for-1. I'm getting 2 Pokemon out. Nest Ball's 1. Like, why would I go 1-for-1? I would just rather go for 2-for-1 and get out all my Pokemon fast. Put 2 Darkrai, put a Darkrai Radiant Greninja, get 2 of them, evolve 1 of them next turn, set up my board faster. You want to set up fast. You don't want any hiccups. If you have hiccups, then you're losing tempo, and this deck relies on developing a high tempo to, like, compete with the other decks. Playing 4 Ultra Ball and 4 Dark Patch this is one of the cards that make this deck run. Accelerating Energy. Some may think this is like the best card in the deck. It's not. Good Darkrai players make this a second priority to your other cards. If you're winning, if you think your win con is setting up Dark Patch, then you're just not playing this deck right. It's the wrong mindset. Because if you're relying on these 4 out of 16 cards in your deck, it's just not likely. It's not good. It's not a good mindset. So these are high priority. If you get it, it's good. And if you Trekking Shoes it, it's okay. If you need to, and if you Trekking Shoes into it, it's good. But if you need to discard it, discard it. Because you can always get it back with Darkrai VSTAR, right? So, good Darkrai players will you find a good way to utilize this. Yeah. So my only tip is don't focus on the Dark Patch of the deck. Focus on your Pokemon and the general concept of how the deck runs. But that's all the item cards. So onto the supporters. 1 Klara. Sometimes PokéStop, and just generally discarding your Pokemon. Sometimes you're gonna start with an Ultra Ball or Trekking Shoe, an Ultra Ball and a Galarian Moltres, and you just ditch the Galarian Moltres, but Galarian Moltres is a clutch card. Knowing at least have if you don't draw into it and don't see it all, but it's in deck, I have a mindset okay, that's good, it's safe. That's another option in the deck. Playing without Galarian Moltres is scary, because having a single prizer is in this fast-paced game, it's really good. Any deck that can have a second attacker that's a single prizer that can hit for decent damage is good. Not only that, Klara combos so well with Galarian Moltres in this deck, because you can use both effects, right? 2 energies, 2 Pokemon. Bam. So, for example, Galarian Moltres V, and then I get the baby Moltres, and then I get 2 energy, right? Bench Galarian Moltres, that's one energy. Then Galarian Moltres, 2 energies in my hand, just from using Klara, not even when it's in my hand prior. And and then Galarian Moltres is ready to attack almost immediately. Just needs an attachment for turn, Dark Patch, and it's ready to go, right? And it's just a good card. It's a great combo, and it's a great recovery option. Since it just gives you strength to your hand, you don't shuffle it back into the deck. I don't think I would run Miriam in this deck. I think keeping Klara at a 1-of is very good. Next, running Double Boss's Order. At one point, I was running Double Boss's Order and then Serena, but I felt like it was too much at that point. Trying to discuss cards all the time, it feels bad, because you rather much see in another game drawing cards, a Sycamore or Revavroom or Radiant Greninja to start drawing cards. So I think 2 is a good number. I wouldn't change that. Next is 2 Judge. Like I said before, I maybe want to bump it up to 3 for the Lost Box matchup, or take out 1 Judge for a Roxanne, or add a Roxanne. Basically, it's an uphill battle against Lost Box, and I need to test more to find out how to make it at least a fair fight, instead of just auto losing. And for research, there's not much to say about that. And then for stadiums, we're running 2 PokéStop, 1 Path of the Peak. You might think this is a weird option. It is, because most deck lists run 2 PokéStop. 2 PokéStop is good. I would not change that. That's perfect. PokéStop is a hit or miss card though, because you might mill viable cards. And since we're not playing Palpad in this, even though most Darkrai lists do, I just couldn't find the need for Palpad. I felt like I would just manage my resources better and like make, you know, risk using the PokéStop, which is fine. And then I got one Path of the Peak to like just bump out other stadiums. I think having 3 stadiums in your deck, just, you know, bump other stadiums is good. And then Path of the Peak just hits a lot of decks like Gudra, Rhydon, Gardevoir. Like I won games like in PTGL, just like put Path of the Peak. They don't expect it, right? Because it hurts you, but you can play under Path of the Peak because you used the Revavroom. And honestly, since you have Dark Patch as well to get around like accelerating energy, like it's a good like one-off. Does it hurt you? Yeah, but I'd rather hurt both me and my opponent equally. I'd rather, like, if I'm hurt, and as long as my opponent's hurting more from this card, then it's worth it. And then to wrap it up, just have like, I run 14 energies. Yeah, that's about it. 14 energies to me, I was running 12 at one point, and that was wrong, definitely wrong. I need, for me, like, to play comfortably with this deck, I think 14 is good. 14 is a very good number. Maybe even adding more. There are some times where I want more cards. So about my matchups. Round 1, I played against Gardevoir EX. And simple match. I think playing against Gardevoir is very fair. Obviously, you do have the double effect, like super effective against Gardevoir EX, but the rest of the deck is literally like weak to metal. And I remember like in the tournament, like that cost me a game because I thought I was hitting for double weakness. But yeah, like be wary of that. Read the cards. And yeah, so that deck, that round went very well. It was a fair match. I think my opponent like prized a Gardevoir EX, and I boss's ordered like both of them, and so like I had it. This was my first time seeing like Drifloon being used, which I think is a wonderful card for Gardevoir. But yeah, other than that, like it's very fair match. Round 2 against played Lugia. Lugia is also a very hard match against the deck. Because just accelerating and the fact that, like, you know, how fast they accelerate energy and how fast Tyranitar hits for like 230. 230 is such an awkward number for this deck because you're hitting 30. And that's when like sometimes I wish for like having a choice belt. But to like my experience to beat Lugia is just you just have to set up better than them and hope sometimes they break. But like other than that, like it's judging them, and just setting up faster and like starting the prize race first. And hopefully they like that match is a lot easier if they don't open optimally, you know, like having Professor Burnett turn 1 or like turn 2 obviously, stuff like that, Ultra Balling, you know, all their Archeops turn 1 and having, you know, setting up fast. I believe my opponent just like bricked in general, like they could not get anything going. I don't think they could have found their Lugia V-Stars. Maybe it was the way I was cutting their deck, but it was like at the bottom or somewhere, and I just won. Round 3 was a bye, but I'm still counting that as a win. Okay, that's a win in my book. So I just went to round 4. Round 4 I went against Mew, and Mew is so free. Of course, you know, hitting double, but like the reason why I made this deck in the first place, like when I first started playing, I had a Retro Gigas deck that I bought off somebody in like my locals, and like I played against Mew, and people were playing Mew, like Mew was was the top deck at the time, or supposedly the top deck, and I just grew to hate Mew, but now I hate Lost Box. So, but thankfully, like you devour Mew, And in like the top 3 like decks or archetypes, being able to like at least like easily like win, like beat one of those decks, is always good. Hitting for weakness, like one of those decks. And then they were playing the Meloetta build, which is a lot scarier for Darkrai because it hits fast, and for like single prizers. Single prize decks are your bane of existence for Darkrai, since it slows your tempo down because you're expected to hit fast and get rewarded with 2 cards off your prizes. But even then, like they put down their Mew, and I just had the boss, and you know I just wanted to trade. But yeah, at least a Sparkle like Fusion Strike Meloetta build for Mew is something you should be wary of or respect when you're playing Darkrai. Because Mew is still a strong deck, it's still fast. Thankfully you hit for weakness. If you didn't, then and then round 5, the worst matchup for this deck, and you know the deck that like is terrifying the meta right now. Lost Box. I played against. I think I just played against a regular Lost Box. They were playing like Raikou and Dragonite. They had the Sky Skull Stone. But I won. So yeah, like I was saying, like I was playing against Lost Box in my final round. Sorry for the cut. And now it was a hard match. Like it made like you may be like with Darkrai playing like Lost Box. Before, like, I know it's a very, like, low chance, but, you know, you have to be wary of, like, how many you bench, because you can always get Raikou and Sky Skull Stoned, and you also have to want to, like, just play Darkrai. Don't switch to, don't even go into Moltres. Don't even put that down. Matter of fact, just play it with your Darkrai's. That's in my experience, because they're just going to Sableye it, and that's a free knockout automatically. Let them work. Spread the damage, and work on KOing your Darkrai's. And beware of your Galarian Moltres. That's also like a free hit, but depending on like how your game setup is, if you can play without it, good. If you don't, then it's alright. And then for Lost Box, like you want to at least, before they start like hitting prizes, like you want to start attacking like turn 2 of anything, literally anything, but like turn 3, like you want to start attacking. You want to get at least 3 prizes ahead of your opponent, 2 to be like safe, because once they knock it out then you're even, but like 3, so you're ahead. You want to play ahead before they get that Sableye out, or like, you know, Giratina out. In my book, like trying to like aim for like 3, like getting a head start on prizes to separate like the setup for that deck is good. Like that's what you should be. That's what my game plan is, like trying to get prizes fast enough. Don't even bosses order like Comfies or anything. Maybe Radiant Greninjas if like you think like they're playing the Kyogre build. But just really like save your boss's orders for like something that, you know, seems suspicious, like a Zamazenta, like a Sableye that they just put down for no reason. My opponent, like, fortunately, sent to lost on their Klara, which is nice. But in that, like, they had everything in their hand, and I did not see my judges. I know I run 2. One was prize and one was in deck. I was trying to thin, but I couldn't because I didn't want to lose my boss's order and my Klara. So that's like the only time like it sucks to draw them. But other than that, like I judged them like last minute. I wish like I got into my judges sooner. But like I basically won that match because they misplayed in attaching their energy. They accidentally, I think like Dragonite is either 2 waters or 2 lightnings. But I think it's 2 they got 2 lightnings and 1 water. And I think like that was the problem. Which in my book it was pretty funny either way, but like I just KO'd for game. Yeah, they almost had me. They were scattering their energy around, their damage counters around with Sableye, and like I was definitely in range for like an attack because they had like 50 on my active, and that would have killed me. But thankfully, like they didn't kill like my Galarian Moltres, and like I had like 4 energies on that thing, and I just attacked the game and I just took it. But yeah, thanks for watching, Alkun Than. I'm working on my Khmer. I want to get back into my culture, learn my culture, like language. If you hear me practicing it, and you know, you think I mispronounce it, if I can improve, thank you. I take constructive criticisms. But let me know what you guys think about my deck, and like how you guys would play against the decks I versed against, and like what you think I can improve. You know, like what would I alter to like win against Lost Box and Lugia. But other than that, guys, like have a good day. Stay blessed. Happy New Year's. Happy Khmer New Year's. Suste Shnam Tame. Suste Shnam Tame. Suste Shnam Tame. But yeah, thanks for watching.